Oh boy. Jesus Christ. Okay then. Fine. Shit. What the fuck was that? And I'm snoozing that. Fuck you. Um, sorry about that. OBS just decided to say fuck my rights in particular. Also, it's like after 12, and that might be my internet fucking like my internet provider actually trying to kick me off because I did put a thing on if I'm streaming after fuck a certain time, it just shuts off my internet because I have work. I don't know. But I'm gonna try what you said with Skelly real quick, and then I probably am gonna end stream and probably send you guys to whoever's streaming at the moment. Sorry about that.
Learned and an experience gained.
Don't tell me it fucking crashed again. Bro, OBS is giving me fucking like anxiety at the moment. Damn, let me play my fucking game in peace, damn it. Oh, did Hades 1 have that bug? Was this like when it did it have a bug? I'd never seen that bug. Skelly was always in the same area. Like I never seen Skelly leave. Ever. Then again. Yeah, yep, Skelly had a bug or not to spawn until the player's hot wait. That's stupid. I mean, I guess it's to keep you from fucking using the same weapon all the time, but it's also stupid. Okay.
Themselves.
I have an incantation to complete. I don't need to stay forever on the surface.
Then you.
It has to.
Up and about.
Hold on, I'll come talk to you in a second. No, he's there. What the?
Moonlight guide us.
Wait, I don't have a wait. I just remember I don't have any fucking I don't have any gifts for him.
Light of moon in darkest Erebus. I urge ye spirits of the crossroads thus. Look well
upon the
wards
wards about this place, which keep us hidden within night's embrace. Ensure that each is whole, its strength secure, as we hold out against our common foe. To achieve victory, we must endure.
You might have to send that to my DMs.
The ravages on us time would bestow.
That's all I'm gonna say.
So mote it be. I've need of that.
Oh, I see.
Commander, though it falls to us to keep the old traditions alive.
Ow, my foot.
Unburdened by the weight of its significance.
Fuck. Sorry, my foot. I fucking hurt my foot.
Of both the offering and of the sentiment, and I summarily shall do my part. Behold, the luckiest of my possessions is in your possession now.
You honor me, Commander.
Patience, young one. You were most brave to venture to the surface, and most foolhardy as well.
Hold on.
Is there no incantation that could help?
I think there is, Commander. Except it calls for reagents that can only be found up there. But how am I supposed to gather them before the incantation is complete?
Mayhaps just make a run for it, I don't know. So what if you can't stay long? Just grab what you need and get out of there.
It's not ideal, but...
I mean, he has a point. Anyway, I'm gonna go read your keepsake. Why is Twisted telling me to read
Something
this?
new there.
Ah!
The tooth.
What the fuck? Why is Skelly an auto-revive?
The good witch always always figured you would
Why
make your
is
way up
Skelly
the
an auto revive?
once you were ready and the situation called for it. Well done.
She warded the pathway there.
What
and
the
protected those who
fuck?
had the means to pass through.
Skelly, what the
The
hell?
climate on the surface is another matter.
Part of meat I couldn't eat. Good though.
Underworld birthright stuff getting in the way.
Understandable.
Curse, not just
And I thank you.
blessing, it would seem. Well,
Because
if
I
your
did not know.
victory got you this far, surely it can aid with this.
Okay, what time is it? Oh my god, I definitely need to go to bed soon. Holy shit. I mean, I don't really have what's tomorrow? What's today? Tuesday? I don't really have to go to work until I don't really have to leave the house until 1:50, 2 o'clock. Well, 1:50. I try to leave at 1:50 so I can catch the train. So I can stay up for one more hour, well, 30 more minutes, and then I need to stop so that way I can get ready for bed because there's a lot of stuff on my bed.
What you said to me before.
Fair enough. Can't kill each other here, but we can use our words. If we were fighting for real, I wouldn't have held back either.
I figured not.
You're an ass. She's an ass. I want Nyx back. I miss Nyx. I want Nyx back. I want Nyx back.
Can I suppress my illness on the surface?
I mean, I still have to call him. Okay. Some tells me Skelly's gonna be useful, so. Some bad news. What's the bad news? And why am I about to hate it? Oh, he's gone again. I guess he popped up for what I want to think. He heard us talking shit. It's mainly a game mechanic. Go on.
Going up.
Okay, gotta be quick, gotta be fast. Gotta be quick, gotta be fast. No time to dilly dally.
Hold on. I bid you shine for me again tonight.
No time to dilly dally. We gotta go.
You're not meant to be here, little star. Your cursed blood shall fight your every step.
Gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Your choice.
Take this. Take this. Gotta start. So every first visit to a boss, they have a higher damage. The first visit. Does that mean when I go see those damn fucking sirens again, it should be gone, or like it shouldn't be no more? Anyway, let me out.
You shouldn't have crossed me.
Not that way. Here we go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go.
Back to dust.
Let me out. Never says on first and first, not first kill. Oh, come on!
Cat.
Let me out! First place I see it, the first place I go. First place I see it, go first place I go. I'm only at 10. Stop it! I'm gonna go down.
Return to Shadow.
That can't help me here. Who? Wait, who?
Oh, so that's the surface then.
Okay, I don't think I'm fit for surface yet.
The air up there did not sit well with me at all.
Frog.
Dora must be hiding for a bit.
Oh, he's gone
What is
again.
all this? Looky who. Disgusting. Do you miss me, Trouble? Thought I'd flit on over.
Oh,
to
speaking
your
of.
place again, since I'm still welcome here and safe and everything. What have you been up to lately?
Speaking of.
You know, not much really, Eris. So, well, what brings you back? For a while there, I thought maybe you really were gone for good this time.
Hate to disappoint, but I just couldn't stay away. Especially not with everything we're in the middle of right now.
Here's that fucking gun.
You've been real busy lately, huh?
Hold on. Let me finish this before you piss me off.
Whatever it is you heard, please keep it confidential. Moonlight guide you, Shades.
Okay, why I'm about to be mad.
You're awake.
Unfortunately.
Headmistress, Olympus seems reluctant to ask outright, but I can tell my family that.
Hmm.
You needn't
I
shake
read
that
faster
sense
than they
of
speak.
me
I'm
about
sorry.
accurate. You still thinking of an incantation that may help you to survive such a journey?
I am. Up there, I'll be like a fish out of water, right? Suffocating. But with a proper incantation, I was thinking maybe I could hold my breath until Olympus is secure.
Such a spell shall not be simple. Though if you demonstrate that you're sufficiently well-traveled, then perhaps magic such as that shall help you go farther still.
I'm counting on it.
There is button stacking enemy damage buff, which raises 5% every event she's designed to fucking want. Why would I want her then? What? She's not useful! I'm sorry. That's mean.
Adequate.
But I'm gonna be honest. She ain't useful. She's not useful.
Hey, where'd Hecuba and Garly scamper off to? I'd ask Headmistress, but she doesn't like it when I show even the slightest concern.
Well, they probably are fine. Each on a little scouting expedition.
I see. So she literally is the hard mode on top of hard mode. Understandable. She's fucking annoying.
Those
Got
little
it.
scouting expeditions always seem to last a while. I'll have to keep an eye out for them then.
Oh, you don't get a choice in the matter when you get the blessing. Oh. Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. If you're doing really well and they don't think you have enough of a challenge, they're gonna give you a challenge. That's understandable. I can't get too mad at that one.
Nemesis must have a head start.
She'll fucking stop you. I'm not gonna give it. Oh. Damn. She kind of just looks at you and is like, huh. So,
Here you are.
you want to talk? Yeah, you see that thing that you're doing? You know that thing, you know how you're doing too well in the game? You know how you're like actually doing very well in the game and we physically can't stop you? Yeah, how about we stop you? You know, right here. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. Right?
Discura, the witch's staff. With me, my friend.
Things that I have seen.
Oh, there he is.
Ah, yes.
I'm about to my fucking weapon. Thank you. Let's go back down.
Once more.
We're gonna know about her because another friend kept getting her first time, the second time.
To Kronos.
Ew. The bug did transfer. Yeah, not surprised. I mean, it is early access, so I'm not on them for this.
But I've got a good feeling about how this is going to go.
He calls me his little sunshine. That's gay. Never mind. I realized the way Say it again. Hate those damn things. Don't have the pickaxe. Shit. It's fine. I mean, it's early access. What the? Let me actually look at this real quick. Okay, that's a little cool. I like that. That's a little. That's a little cool. Not gonna lie. Oh, you got that? Is that a bad thing? This feels overpowered. Like, no offense, that feels overpowered. That will kill those things. Ah, understandable. So keep it. Understandable. Shit, if not everything at this point.
That's one of Lord Charon's wells. What do we have in here?
I love the placeholders. I love the little later. You can also get other boons to make it expand more and more. Ah,
Feeling you'd show up.
god damn it.
Let's see whether the fates are. Come on out.
Race you.
Show off.
I'd rather not die in this area, thank you.
Got me again somehow. Quit stalling.
No, you don't.
No. Oh yeah, that's gonna get nerfed. Is the armor strip because at the moment, from what a fan said, almost instantly moves yellow health from any enemies, even bosses. We don't know. I guess we'll find out. To be honest, we don't know what's gonna get nerfed. Fucking Dionysus didn't get his ass nerfed, and he was like the strongest fucking person to have in that damn game. Dionysus did not get nerfed. That fucker needs to get nerfed. My runs with him was bullshit. Anyway, I mean, this is fun. I'll accept being overpowered with this.
Moonlight. I draw you down, O moon. Lend
Also,
me light.
hammer is an instant grab. Yeah.
Kronos, he is time itself. Thus, by his nature, we can never be entirely prepared. Behold my light. Night bloom. It is yours.
Yes, I have encountered Grandma.
Eris returned to the crossroad. If only she was more like you.
Can't wait to see. No,
Thank you for your service.
sorry, I don't feel like dealing with chaos.
You again.
I just think that's a little funny. That's a little funny. I just think this attack a little funny because it's literally, Spingelbur.
Vanquished.
She is close to Dionysus and power scaling at the moment because freeze. Bro, Grandma was always overpowered.
My threads and catch whatever comes my way. Pleasant memory lingers on my mind. From lonely dark of night until the break of day. My friend,
She's just talking.
For the cauldron.
Now you don't truly think I weave all those cocoons you see out there myself, do you? I weave faster than anyone, though even I'm not that quick.
That does make sense. So instead you command a massive hidden army of spiderlings, standing at the ready to do your bidding.
Oh no, most of them hang upside down rather than stand. Oh, come now, I'm not the only spider in the woods. The others keep to themselves, but they do listen sometimes.
This is the one spider I will accept. I'm gonna take this one, because I know how I am. I just love how the outfit changes. It's so nice. I should have got the pomegranate. Fuck. Oh well. Well, it don't matter anyway, because watch this. Bye. Oh, you're not dead yet. That's a problem. Why are there so many of these damn things? Y'all are like leeches. Die! Because all enemies are affected by even mini bosses. Only main bosses are immune, but Frost slows them down. Ah.
Some of these
Hammer?
golden coins.
Oh, no hammer. I was hoping. Also, I miss having my dash. That's a good question. What the? Sorry, I had to see how much money I had.
Should come in handy.
Fuck it. Take it all. I do like that Chiron is always on the final floor. That's a nice change. That we're not forced to Chiron. You can choose.
Here goes.
At last.
But the final four is either Chiron or something, you know, something useful. It's never nothing not useful.
This has emboldened you and made you strong. Yet 'tis a fleeting strength.
I'll take a fleeting strength over no strength at all. We take every advantage that avails itself.
Just so. Then come and show me how you would make use of such advantages. Now the crossed blades.
Fake! Fake! God. I need to figure out which one's the real one day. Go on, fall for the trap. She did exactly what I wanted.
3 against 1.
Not again with the fucking sheep! I hate this damn thing. And I know that thing just keeps following you. Is there a way to fucking block it? I don't know. Maybe if I had Hermes, like, shield, it probably wouldn't hit me. Because that's what I had last time. I didn't get turned sheep. It took the shield. Let me... Oh, thank you. Oh, so you must... Thank you. Eh. Nope, used it too far. It's fine. That's fake. Got her. Eh.
But I cannot mend your wounds.
Also, listen to the audio of her talking and sauce to a real body. Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, keep that in mind.
Victory.
That last transformation at the same time as she transformation does. Oh, okay. I'm just not quick enough yet, if that makes any sense. Also, I do like that we get the same, that we can still get the same rewards instead of it changing. Like how we got Titan's blood and then it would change to, why are you back? Why are you back? Get out! I don't care about you enough. Actually, Skelly might be actually useful. What the hell do you want?
To know your way around. I am master of this realm. Yet even I would never venture into yonder woods. You even found your way back from your detour in Asphodel.
I hate this stupid ass motherfucker.
Damn you, Kronos.
The fates
What?
help you now.
Wait, what?
Time is running out.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
'Tis a pity that this granddaughter of mine is both a weakling and a fool.
I knew something was wrong with that. I was like, what the fuck?
The fates that we have met at last.
The fates had nothing to do with this. You took my family.
Our family. Make not their same mistakes. And in time, we surely shall grow past this halted start to our relationship. I shall see you later.
Wait.
Let's just keep going. Okay, it's 103. If I'm still...
That briny smell.
I'm mad I don't have any speed anymore. Oh, speaking of speed, yay! Speed! Stupid doll has to wait. Stupid doll has to wait. Stupid doll has to wait.
Ensnared. Water spouts activated.
So that's what the vibrating on my controller was.
I can still fight.
Okay.
May moonlight guide us.
I'm in certain things, the trial, the train man, Kronos and Zagreus. I don't! Hey! Don't you fucking put that shit in my brain. That means Zagreus just started a full-out war.
All I managed to confirm is Gramps got hold of someone whom he's sure gives him the upper hand. Right now, he's readying the next stage of his plan to bring this mountain down. I better go.
Oh, damn.
And we're off.
Hey, Zeus. Hey, I think that's funny as fuck that this just do this. You can get on my ass for abusing it so much, but I think it's fun. I don't want to deal with the sirens. They're fucking. What the? How did that hit me? Ah! Don't you even. I mean, the chrono's down here, and the surface has the real one. Oh yeah, that's true.
Realm, it seems. You mean to circumnavigate your father's domain? Why confront the armies of Kronos head-on when you could go around? A clever move.
That's kind of fucked up at the same time. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Shocking every time.
That's kind like that's really fucked up of Zagreus to do. What am I hearing? New person?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't get to see how they look like because it's a placeholder. Sad. Oh well.
Well, would you look at that? Another would-be suitor journeyed far and wide just to gaze upon me. Not that I blame you. And get totally rejected. Fine. Ogle if you must.
Oh hey, it's Nick Cage. Shut up.
You have the wrong idea. I'm not seeking a mate. I don't even know who you are.
Shit, we don't even know what you look like. Oh, it's not. That explains a lot.
And if you're no would-be suitor, then why don't you relieve me of one of these innumerable gifts the others offered in vain? Then beat it.
I'm expecting this fucker to be holding a mirror. Oh. These are actually not that bad. I will take this.
Now you may go.
I don't know.
Thanks. Thank you.
Ah, only if I had the thing. Oh. Nice. It's very funny. He has no art but one star. Literally, it's fuck. See. Fuck the. Oh, I fall into the trap. Oh no, I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. Not again. I just get confused. Oh, the water stopped me. I see. I don't like that I can... There's something missing. Die.
Limestone.
I can't risk going into a boss battle now.
You dare.
Woo! Stop going that way. I get food, please?
Supplies inbound.
I heard it. Where did it go?
Marked one. Stop.
Wolf is right. Shit, man.
Heads up, sister.
Bones for the broker.
Damn, you're hurt.
There you are.
Yeah.
So much for visiting the surface, huh? Not seen a trace of you up there.
I would not be able to fire that fucking mini boss.
I'm not supposed to be up there. Could hardly breathe. But there might be something I can do. Hermes wouldn't have asked me to go if it wasn't important.
Oh, look! See, she's here now. My controller's green. The light on my controller is green. I do like that the controller matches what God is talking to me.
Push yourself too hard.
Hammer! I remember what you said. Get the hammer. Oh my god, there's so many of these things. Woo! Bro, what kind of laser light show is this? That's a death defiance. That's annoying. Hammer wasn't meant in the first game. I was using fist a lot, and the hammer is really good with the fist.
My blades grow sharper still. The path of stars.
Okay.
It is decided.
I want that fucking pearl.
Here goes. Look at here.
Yeah.
I knew it. She's come back. You ready for another show, lady? We've been rehearsing our material, practicing non-stop because one day I'm gonna be a star. Oh, me and the gals.
What do your musical ambitions have to do with unprovoked acts of violence against me?
She's just heckling us gals. Ignore her and take it from the... We are Skilla, the Sirens!
Fuck. damn it, I'm running into every single one of these. Skelly! Thank you. That's my last one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Cool. What is following me? Thank God those attacks don't hurt me. Wait, where did the guitars go? Oh. Drum got killed, drums in a song, stop saying. Yeah, I noticed that. Ah! That's too much! Oh my god. Ah! So close! Do not unpause. Bro, you Hey. Remember to use the chat bunny. I can't like play the game and look at the thing. Remember that. I can't do both. I cannot do both. I cannot do both. Jesus Christ, I have like one brain cell, and when I'm in a boss battle, I'm only paying attention to the boss. So if you need to tell me something like that important, please use the text to speech. It is on. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, can't do anything about that. Oh, so close!
Phrenos, I can't get that blasted siren song out of my head.
I want to hear the song in full now. Angry.
May moonlight guide us.
terror engulf us.
Oh, what gives there, Mel? You look like you've seen a... I don't know, but whatever it was, it got under your skin. Oh, skin seems nice.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that.
Just a little shaken. First nightmare since all this started.
About time. You were past due. Oh, how scary would you say it was compared to,
The terrifying visage that you see before you now?
Not even close.
My fingers hurt. I think that's good enough. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that's a good time to stop.
Kronos was waiting for me again outside of Erebus. This time I recognized him right away, but I could do nothing against him.
Oh. So, mostly me taking out the drummer really quickly kept them from attacking me so much. Got it.
Wily bastard. Arrogant to the last. So then, he knows of you. What did he say?
He thanked the fates that we had finally met, as though he'd been searching for me all this time, and told me not to make the same mistakes as my family.
Eject that poisoned memory from your mind. He knows nothing of the Fate's designs. I shall reinforce all our protective sorceries, and you fear not your enemy. Slay him.
What to cast? Denied.
Still needs that fabric.
Fair trade. Be well.
Oh, I need one more.
Greetings.
Hold on.
Up you go.
I need to take the shovel with me again.
Our garden flourishes.
Yeah, that I was lucky to keep dodging the guitars. Hers wasn't really that hard. It's those circles I didn't see. Shush. Giggling about.
Here you are.
Okay. Don't. I'm not gonna use the fabric. I'm gonna wait now because now I need to wait until that goes.
Most troubling report. A sighting in the pathways on the outs.
If it's Kronos that they saw, then yes.
No one gets into the crossroads whom we don't permit, or can even know where.
Is he even capable of wasting time?
I love him. Speaking of that, let me just. Here you go.
I ought to be the one honoring you, goddess. My inclination is to save this for the moment of our victory, but it's good to have in reserve in case of some emergency, you understand?
I understand indeed. And you already honor me with your friendship, Odysseus, as well as with your knowledge about how to deal swift death. May moonlight guide us.
Until she's been around. What do these even do? I'll figure it out. No. Okay. I think that's a good time to stop. I think you already told me the name of the song, unfortunately. Actually, until I actually make it easier on you. Yeah. My head hurts. Oh, I can get the route of fishing now. Aw.
All right.
I'll wait.
Zorafet, the Moonstone Axe. You can split anything apart.
That's a nice axe.
Bear it with honor,
Commander?
young one.
God damn it, man. You're gonna wait. Oh, okay. Thank you. I think that's a good time to end before I fucking lose my goddamn mind. At least they kept that fucking joke. Alright. That'll be the end of Hades. It's 1:26 in the morning, and I need to go to bed. So, at work. So, you have a good day, a good night, a good evening, depending on where you live. Remember to eat and stay hydrated, because God knows I need to. We're gonna go raid Ark, because Ark is still playing ID&DB. So, y'all, I will see you all later today, probably for more Hades. I love this game. This might be my fucking addiction for the week. Sorry. Stream schedule might be fucked because of that, but new game. Anyway, bye everybody. Oh, wrong one.